Little bit of a trigger warning because I am going to be talking tangentially about abuse. There are a pair of bills going through, I want to say it's Wisconsin. Yeah, it's Wisconsin. And they're sponsored by representatives. English, do you speak it? Representatives Melissa Sargent, Chris Taylor, and Senator Lena Taylor. And let me see if I can, because of course I didn't put the name of the bills at the top. There are two bills called the Child Protection Act and the Mandatory Clergy Reporting Act. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those two. And I actually got a couple of them to send me like the preliminary drafts of the bills. So the language isn't finalized, you know, but I'm kind of hoping that the full language goes public as soon as they're introduced. But yeah, I'll definitely make sure that I keep up with these whenever they do, and I'll put it on Twitter or something. But yeah, thank you, all three of you representatives who got back to me. I greatly appreciate it. So let's start with talking about the Child Protection Act. Basically, it just acts as the statute of limitations for reporting sexual abuse as a child. And right now, as it stands, the age is 35. That's the statute of limitations. If you're abused as a child, you have until you're 35 years old to report it. After that, it's, legally speaking, water under the bridge. But this bill gets rid of that. I don't possibly see how this can be a bad thing. You know, I honestly think it's absurd that there's a statute of limitations for sexual abuse. So I'm more than happy to see that go away. And other than protecting itself, I don't see why the Catholic Church is against this. I really don't. And the Mandatory Clergy Reporting Act will expand the types of child abuse and neglect that a member of the clergy is required to report. So right now, if like outside of the confessional, if a clergy person hears about some kind of abuse or neglect, they're of course required to report it, and they should, you know, obviously with exception of confidential communication, which would be like the confessional. And yeah, it expands the requirements to any form of abuse or neglect, not just sexual abuse. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't see why the church is against this. I mean, I do, but it's kind of childish that they think that it's specifically aimed at the Catholic Church, because it's aimed at everything. Everything is, you know, bearing the brunt of this. You know, every single religion, doesn't matter. But in true Catholic form, they think it's an attack against them. I mean, you got to do something with your persecution complex, otherwise, you know, why have it? You know, I mean, yeah, no, I'm not too familiar with how other religions do a confessional kind of thing, but I'm pretty sure the Catholic Church isn't the only one that has a similar practice to that. Yeah, that's, I mean, the language of the preliminary draft didn't get more specific than clergy, so anybody. Yeah. I don't see how it's an attack on the Catholic Church, you know. And I mean, here's the big thing, the big question I have. If it were to be an attack on the Catholic Church, which it is not, why isn't a requirement for penance, if what everyone should know about the Catholic Church when it comes to confession, you have to do a penance. You're not just getting your sins wiped away. You have to do something about it. Usually it's a couple Hail Marys. But if you go into a confessional and you say that you've abused a child, why isn't your penance go to the fucking police and turn yourself in? I don't know. I think that's letting them get off a little too easily. What do you two think?
So I think that part of the reason why the penance isn't that is because the abusers aren't often the people who go confess. Whether it's a clergy person who did the actual abuse or it's someone else, it's not like they're going to go up and confess their sins. I mean, I'm sure that there are exceptions to this rule. Like, if I were to say that all people who abused children were never to confess, that's probably not true. Odds are there are a couple of people, but I think it makes sense. I think that the rule that wants to be implemented, the rule that those Congress people are trying to implement, is a logical rule. I applaud them, and I hope that it passes. And even if it was an attack specifically against the Catholic Church, the question shouldn't be, is that a bad thing? The question should be, does the Catholic Church merit this? And yes, they do.
Yeah. And I mean, like with the Catholic Church, and I'm sure BBA will back me up on this as soon as he, gets his 2 cents in. If you don't confess something you've done, like if you forget about it, it's one thing, but I don't think you're going to forget abusing a child. That's not likely to happen. So if you don't confess it and it's not something you genuinely forgot about, it would be considered a lie by omission in the confessional, which is itself kind of a sin, and not something you're going to get forgiven for.
Yeah.
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 Your thoughts, BBA?
Well, I think it's a good thing. The Catholic Church for the longest time, anything that is come up legally, for example, this bill or set of bills, I guess, anything that has the Catholic Church underlyingly in its contents, they always love to scream victim, even though it's not solely directed at them. It's directed at everybody, religious or non-religious, institutionalized. The Catholic Church just loves to scream victim, and it's ridiculous.